Well, now on Triple M's Hot Breakfast, a man that many of our listeners would have spent years watching. We've followed his journey inside and outside the ring, and frankly, it's outside where he's become a real inspiration for people. Jake the Snake Roberts, welcome to Triple M.
Glad to be here, bro. Any day I'm here, I'm glad to be here.
Mate, you've been through a bit.
Yeah, I have, man, but, it's bad choices. Growing up, you do things like that, depending on what you've been through. I got into the bad stuff because I was trying to shut down the noises, man, and quiet the feelings that I had and the anger that I had. But I don't recommend anybody going through it. But if you do, if you're out there doing drugs and alcohol and you want to get out of it, I'm your guy, man. I was a, 20-year cokehead, and just to survive that is amazing because the last 3 or 4 years, I was an 8-ball-a-day guy, and you add the alcohol that went along with it. It's amazing that I'm still here. I didn't plan on being here. I was to the point with my addiction that I didn't want to live anymore, man, and was praying to die and hated life, hated what I'd done to myself, my family, my career. He'd blown it all, and once you've been up on top of the mountain, man, and you start sliding down, it ain't much fun. And, I got to the bottom. That's what they all talk about when you reach your bottom. Well, I'd been on my bottom for about 5 years, and a friend of mine reached out and pulled me out of it, man.
That was Diamond Dallas Page. Yeah. We've had him here at Triple M. He's a pretty amazing guy.
Super guy, man.
Now, Jake, let's go back and talk wrestling first. You were as big as they came when wrestling was as big as it ever was in the sort of mid to late 1980s.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was just a blur. It really was. I mean, Vince McMahon had taken over wrestling by going nationally or worldwide. And he had taken all the top talent out of every place there was on the planet and put us all in one company. We were running 3 major cities a night.
So you have to be in 3 different towns and wrestle 3 different matches?
No. 3 major cities a night. You might have a show in L.A., one in Omaha, and one in New York, all going at the same time. And we used to make jokes about what a horrible dart thrower they had to set up that tour because it'd be like, Miami, Seattle, Seattle to, Portland, Maine, Portland, Maine to San Diego. What the hell, man? But we were doing it 7 days a week, twice on Saturday. You'd do an afternoon show at 2 and then another show at 7 in different cities. So you might be in LA at 2 and San Diego at 7 or Omaha at 2 and Des Moines, Iowa at 7. And The worst stretch of run that I did was 93 days straight. And, wrestling Ricky Steamboat, 20, 25, 30 minutes a night. And it got to the point after about 70 days, I had to have my wife come on the road and lead me around because I literally could not talk anymore. I was just dumbed out, banged up. And Vince at the time was just getting that company going, and he had put all of his marbles in his basket, his wife's basket, took all the marbles and thrown them in there to see if we can do this thing. And so he ran us continually. And, I came from an area in the country. I was in Mid-South, which was like Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi. And I'd work the 7 days a week thing there, fairly easy. But to work with the flying and all that, it was really tough on us. But nobody cared because when I took the job in New York with Vince, I was making on the average of $1,500 a week, and that was very good, very, very good at that time. But to go from $1,500 a week to a small check was $10,000. Do you think I'm going to call the boss and say I need some days off?
I want to ask you about the boss.
No.
I mean, Vince McMahon is one of the most fascinating characters. I mean, not unlike yourself, just so many layers.
Yeah.
He presents himself on television like this evil professor genius. Mm-hmm. Is that the man?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Vince had some tough times in life too. Don't think he didn't. But, he's the only billionaire I know. No, I take that back. I know one other one. He's the head of NBC, but I like him better, but anyway.
Would you have met, I'm thinking billionaires, would you have met the president when WrestleMania was at
Yeah,
Trump?
we were actually good friends, man. Mr. Trump and I. In fact, WrestleMania 7, I believe, in L.A. This is a funny story, man. He was dating Marla at the time.
Marla Maples?
Marla Maples. And he introduces me to her, and she's like, oh, my God, I need to talk to you. So she pulls me to the side, and she goes, look, I know somebody that wants to go out with you. I'm like, well, you know, I'm kind of married right now. She's like, well, she doesn't want to date you. She just wants to one night, you know,
Okay.
and, you know, no holds barred. I'm like,
That's quite an offer.
you know, my eyes are blinking. And I'm like, blah, 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 what do I say to this, you know? And, you know, I didn't want to offend Mr. Trump, so I said, well, and she goes, let me show you a picture. She showed me a picture. I'm like, yes, I'll do it. I'll do it.
You're
She's
a
like,
very honourable man. You didn't want to offend Mr. Trump.
Yeah. And then I find out that it's her friggin' mother.
Oh, Mrs. Maples.
Yeah. And
But the photo was...
it was hot. It was hot, you know, and I wished I had him. But, you know, I could be in the White House right now. You know?
You could be
if she had married
the
Marla, and I would,
father-in-law.
absolutely, I'd be father-in-law of the president. Now, America, what do you think?
Well, yes. If that had happened, though, you wouldn't be here with us, I don't reckon, in Melbourne,
You know what?
Australia.
I'll tell you how I endeared myself
Yeah.
to Mr. Trump. WrestleMania 4, we were in Atlantic City, and him and his wife at the time were sitting ringside, and I had to wrestle Rick Rude, and we did a 20-minute Broadway, which means we're going to do the time limit. And Rick Rude was a beast, an animal, man, and he was in shape. And he wanted to go out there and go 100 miles an hour. Well, basically, I just held on to him for the first 10 minutes and tried to slow him down until I finally got him gassed, and then we had a good match. But the whole time, his wife is sitting with her side turned to the ring while she's sipping on champagne.
This is Mrs. Trump.
Yeah. And Donald's, he's all into the match and everything, but she wouldn't even look at the ring, and it pissed me off. So at the end of the match, when I came out of the ring, I drugged the snake, and I grabbed the snake, and as I swung it around, it was an accident. Right. She got slapped in the face and the breast with a big, huge python. Well, when it hit her, she took a tumble backwards and fell out of her chair. Her legs were up in the air, and Donald ran up the aisle. And that's how I endeared myself to Donald. But he thought it was great. I thought it was great, too, till I found out that she actually tried to hire some of the staff that they had to take care of me.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Some of the Atlantic City heavies.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You want to
Yes.
avoid that.
Yes.
Your old mate Hulk Hogan, they're making a biopic. Or not your old mate?
No.
Not so
I
much?
was around him.
Okay. Well, I mean, you were going to have a feud with him, so they say, but you were too popular. They would cheer Jake and boo
thanks,
Hulk.
fans. You cost me about $20 million.
That's it. But they're making a movie about Hulk Hogan, and they think that the Australian Chris Hemsworth is going to play the Hulk star. Do you know
really?
Chris Hemsworth?
No, I don't.
He's Thor from the Avengers
Oh, yeah,
movies.
yeah.
You think he'd do a good job?
Better than Hulk, yeah.
Who would play Jake the Snake Roberts in the Hulk Hogan movie?
Oh, my God. Well, I don't know. You know, I'm trying to think who would measure up. Maybe, oh, gosh, I just had a brain fart. Everything's gone. Sorry.
I reckon sort of a maybe Billy Bob Thornton kind of.
No, I was
not tough
thinking
enough?
more of, I was thinking more along the lines Bruce Dern.
Okay, yes.
Or my favorite, Jack Nicholson. But I would probably wind up being somebody with a great mustache, so therefore you'd have to go with Sam Elliott.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. We're casting this. Hey, we've talked wrestling.
Or Magnum. You know.
Yeah, well, that'd be good. Tom Selleck.
I've been confused with him before.
Have you? Did you
Yeah,
use that to
blind
your
lady.
advantage?
Yes, you're blind. She didn't know any better.
And you told this woman you were Tom Selleck?
Yeah, sure.
Because she felt the
The
mustache.
next morning, yeah.
Best opponent?
Too many, man. If you even considered to wrestle Andre the Giant one-on-one, then that's a great honor. So that's up close to the top. But I wrestle so many of the greats, people that most fans don't even know about. Because when I first started wrestling, everybody in the business was very, very good at what they did. They were all pros and the great teachers. When I broke in, there were no young guys in on the roster, there might have been one or two guys under the age of 30 because it was all older guys that had learned their trade, had polished it, had gotten it down right, and knew what to do. Much different than today.
Who do you like of today's crop? I mean, who is somebody you can get behind?
Not many. One, Randy Orton could be great. If I could just have a hold of him for about a month, he could be awesome.
What would you change? What would you advise him to do?
Just his manner.
Yep.
The way he carries himself. He does a great job, mechanically and all that, but he just doesn't know the timing. And that timing is the thing, man. It's a shame, because these new guys that are coming up now, man, they get tossed into a camp or whatever, and they're there for 3 months, 6 months, and then they take you to the big show, and they tell you, okay, you're going in, this is your shot, don't blow it. That's the wrong thing to tell a kid, man, because he's going to go out there and do every damn thing he knows for no reason at all. And if you watch wrestling today, everybody's doing everything, and beyond. To the idiot stuff. It does not take a great wrestler to jump off a cage and go through a table. It takes a friggin' idiot. And that's my big beef today, man, is these kids are crippling themselves just because they realize it's their opportunity, and if they don't do what everybody else does, they won't have a job. And you can't do that.
You mentioned at the start of the interview, we talked about your battle in your personal life and getting everything back together. When you weren't going so well, are you familiar with a Deadpool?
Yeah.
Our online editor, our online editor actually nominated you, and we were talking about this, how pleased we are to stand here and say that he's going to lose that competition.
Damn right he is.
Because you look fantastic these days.
Between me and Scott Hall, we had the highest ratings on Deadpool, and for all those that pick me, biatch.
I think he's outside our online editor. That's him in the black.
I'll be sure and DDT his ass on the way out, and throw the damn snake on him.
That's it. Well, speaking of which,
both of them, the one with scales and the one without. Well, it has a couple of warts. Never mind.
Well, that's true. You can get that fixed.
Things happen.
Exactly. It's a long life on the road. Did you bring a friend with you today?
Yeah, I bought him. Just a little one.
Just a little one.
Well, yeah.
My goodness, no.
Stand still.
That's not little.
Well,
Are you going to
thank you,
introduce me
sir.
to your friend? You've heard that before.
Okay. Spin it around your neck.
Right. Which way are we going to go?
Stay right there.
Okay. No. Oh, sorry. I should.
There you go.
Oh, yuck. Oh no.
Oh, my
Okay.
God.
So, am I going to be all right?
Yeah.
Where do I hold him?
No,
Okay.
put one hand back here.
Put one where?
Back here.
Oh my God. Oh wow.
Back here.
Back there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Put your hand back
Okay.
here.
Oh. Jeez.
Grabbing a snake.
Oh, sorry. I
There
should.
you
Yeah.
go.
Oh my goodness.
See, that's a little.
So this is.
Very.
How does this compare to some of the other snakes that you had during your career?
1/4 this size.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I usually had 70 pounders, 80 pounders. This is probably a 20 pounder at most.
Is that right?
How
Did
do
you ever
feel?
lose a snake?
Yes, I did.
What happened?
I lost one in Australia way back when.
Yeah.
I believe it was like 1995, 96. And it went into the toilet, and there was a wrestler here called Thunder Jushin Liger from Japan.
Yep.
And he
Oh my goodness.
he refused to dress in the locker room with me because of the snake. He had a huge fear.
Yeah.
But that was the first guy to ever refuse to dress in the same locker
Is
room.
it? Yeah.
So they put him on the other side of the building. The other side of the building in a locker room by himself. And after his match, he went into his locker room, he undressed, and he went in the shower. As he came out of the shower and he was passing the toilets, the snake came up out of one of the toilets and looked right at him. He streaked the whole Coliseum nude, running out the door. He ran out the door nude, and they caught him and took him to his hotel, where he grabbed all his gear and went directly to the airport and flew back to Japan. He refused to finish the tour. That was a bad omen.
That's magnificent. Well, Jake,
was
thank
great.
you for introducing me to your friends.
Yeah, you
so
look
great
happy.
to see you here with.
You look very happy.
I was absolutely packing my pants.
That's what makes it fun, brother.
That's it. Well, Jake, you're a great storyteller. You're what you've done in your personal life, frankly, has inspired a lot of people. And thank you for all those hours of entertainment, Jake the Snake Roberts.
I appreciate doing it, man. And I just want to tell anybody out there that's struggling, man, you can do it. I did it. You can do it. If you come to one of my shows and you want to talk about your addiction problems and you're serious about talking about it, I'll be glad to sit there as long as it takes to help you, because nobody needs to die doing drugs or alcohol.
Powerful words. The Dirty Details Tour is this Sunday at the Corner Hotel. Come and see the master of the DDT himself. Jake the Snake, thanks for your time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.